fall camp begins for the University of Oklahoma. Greetings from Tennessee, from Monty. Greetings to all of Surgeaholics who are out there in the comment section and those who are about to join us momentarily. Appreciate everyone being on air each and every night. And Jay, fall camp begins next week. There's a lot of excitement brewing. No storms brewing, but some excitement brewing.
Yeah, as Dalpo says, big storm brewing headed right for the SEC, Oklahoma. So it's another Saturday gone by without football, which means we're another Saturday closer to football. And that's the most exciting thing for me is it's just around the corner now. It'll literally be here before you can say it's going to be here. Now is when it really – I think every year when you get August, when you hit August 1st, it's pretty much go time. I mean, you got the high schoolers that are doing 2-a-days. You got colleges that are practicing starting in August, and it's here. You got preseason NFL football. So I'm pumped. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, NFL preseason's right around the corner, Jay. Sooners, not the Sooners. Dallas Cowboys have not signed CeeDee Lamb yet.
Yeah, Jeremy, I don't know. I think Jerry Jones will sign him because that's what Jerry Jones does. He's pretty loyal to those guys, especially if he really likes the players. But they're going to have to pay him because Justin Jefferson got that much. They're going to have to pay him. Same thing's going to happen for quarterbacks. I mean, Jordan Love got the highest. He's the highest paid all time. Jordan Love, highest paid all time. I mean, Jordan Love. That means, his stats weren't that much better than Baker Mayfield's last year, to be honest. But I think they see the future in him is what it is. Wait, real quick. Yeah, I need a blue onion. I'm going to get one of those this week, I think, at Roadhouse. Hey, John, I think Jerry's almost loyal to a fault. I think he keeps guys too long.
Ezekiel Elliott, and then he brings them back.
They were too loyal to Ezekiel Elliott the first time around. They overpaid him. I think they do that quite a bit, actually, but maybe not.
Anyway, I was going to say, Jay, name the movie. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Oh, that's Crocodile Dundee.
Absolutely. Crocodile. Name the actor who played him, Jay.
Oh, I cannot name the actor who played him.
That's disappointing, Jay.
Do you know?
Absolutely.
Well, what is it?
I'm not going to say it.
Why?
It's right there. It's Paul Hogan.
That's it.
Colin.
Paul Hogan. He reminds me of Greg Norman.
Jay, I can seems like I can hear myself when you through some reverb, but Colin, I would be thrilled. Move that hand, Jay. I would be thrilled. I would be thrilled if OU went 11-1 and lost to Maine. I'd be ecstatic.
Well, they'd be in the playoff, I guess.
They'd be the number one seed in a college football playoff, probably.
Yeah, too much Cowboys talk, John says. I'm with you, and I'm a Cowboy fan. I think it's too much. I just don't get excited for NFL like I used to, other than fantasy. My fantasy teams. Watching the Cowboys, I like watching them, but I don't get so disappointed when they lose like I used to. I'm with you, Sooner Cowboys. I'm with you, bro. Move on from Dak.
Greg God had a comment earlier about an injury. I'm not going to comment on it.
On an injury?
Yeah, I asked if we talked about Deshaun injury last night.
No, I don't know anything about it, so it's tough for me to comment on that.
Yeah, I don't like to speculate or say what other people have said, so I'm not going to spend any time on that. Jackson Arnold and the wide receiver room is going to shred SEC defense in less than 60 days. I have my popcorn fully prepared.
Zach Johnson, thanks for joining. Says nobody has faith in OU except OU. OU against the world. I think a lot of times it is OU. I think a lot of people, you got to love or hate with OU. I thought, I want to say it's July 31st. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that's what it was.
Next week. It's next week.
I'm pretty sure it's July 31st, but
that's Tuesday.
No. Wednesday.
Sorry, that would be Wednesday the 31st. I just know next week they're getting after it, Jane. We're going to be able to see and hear who's out there, who's going through things, and it changes things.
Great God brought up injuries. I think that's what you will be able to tell once they start practicing is who is practicing and who's not. I mean, right now, you know what I mean? I mean, you've heard the stuff like Farouk, and I'm trying to remember who he said.
Earl Anthony.
Yeah, some of those guys won't be available till right before the first game. So, yeah, it's here, man. It's here. Alabama lost to commit today. Flip time, flip season, flipping Auburn. I think he'd already committed to Auburn, then Alabama, now back to Auburn. Isn't that crazy? Wild.
No, it's not the way that NIL deals are today.
Not at all. Yeah, Matt Rule had quite a bit to say at his media day that Paul Feinbaum apparently jumped on him for. But how good are they going to be, Jeremy?
Way better than people are thinking.
You think?
Yes.
Colin's in the band. Colin, play a drummer, looks like. Looks like he plays drum. Ooh.
Yeah. I would be going to Missouri.
I would too, just because the heat between the rivalry in those games. Although I think Missouri's the game a lot of people have already been to. Auburn would be like a one-time. Like, I think if you're going for environment of an SEC game, it's got to be Auburn. If you're going because a rivalry game, and I say rivalry just because of the things that have happened with OU Missouri, I think Missouri. But Auburn's the stadium, the atmosphere, it's a true SEC environment. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just under the belief. I know this is weird because they've been in the SEC for a while, but I don't consider Missouri an SEC environment when I think about road games. Do you?
No. But we'll see. We're going to get a taste of it. Jay,
How much different is it from when they were in the Big 12? Do you think it's any different?
Missouri's like Texas Tech road game. Jay, I was thinking Monday too. I talked to you earlier today about Monday practice, and you thought the 31st. But
yeah, and I can't verify. I'm not. I just thought it was the 31st, but.
Hey, Chester, whether you want to believe it or not, Mid-Pooh or Mizzou is a rival for fans. It's a rival in that aspect. It depends on how you're going to define rival.
Yeah.
I think Matt Rule has got some players in there, and Matt Rule can absolutely coach college football.
Well,
I think he's one of the top ones.
He's usually really good second and third year down the road. I mean, so
Nebraska was. I'm going to change your capital letters there. You say Nebraska was the rival. I'm going to say Nebraska was the rival.
And Bobby, I think this is just as of the last year or two. Before that was not a thing. OU and Missouri recruiting against one another was not that big of a deal. It's really only recently. And it's really only, you think about it, Williams, Nwaneri, and Caden Green, all that stuff has kind of heated it up.
Part of it, the fans have made it a rival because of the fandom. I mean, the fans hate each other.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I've got Utah winning the Big 12.
I got Utah as well winning the Big 12. I think K-State will be up there. I'm picking Utah. I mean, they got Cam Rising back for his, 12th year, something like that. So here's a question from Colin. Fun Sooner Search question of the night for the viewers who, what do you think was more impactful in the 2000 Natty? 13 points by the impactful. Well, the 13 points by the offense wasn't that great, so I think it was the shutout. The shutout, if anybody remembers the 2000 year, the defense carried that team for the last probably month of the season. Offense early on in that year was really good. Down the stretch, if you remember right, a lot of people thought maybe Heupel was injured because he was struggling a little bit, maybe not enough pop on the ball as he had early in the season, and people were kind of wondering. I remember radio talk shows talking about sports shows, and the defense carried him down the stretch, I thought.
Well, that And Jay, look who it was. First off, the Bedlam game, Derek Strait made a game-saving play. Torrance Marshall,
low-scoring games down the stretch.
Anyway, Torrance Marshall made some big plays in the A&M game. In the last game of the season in the national championship, you're going against the Heisman Trophy candidate winner, even though he shouldn't have been. Their offense was really good, so it has to be the defense. Has to be.
Colin has never seen him win one. Colin, hopefully that's in your future in the next few years, I would hope. Terrence McGuire, wrist injury. I don't know what he's talking about.
Heupel.
Oh, Heupel. Yeah. I agree. I think he was hurt too. I mean, he didn't look the same. And they just won because the defense hung on. I mean, that team could talk a lot of smack defensively, and they did, and they backed it up every time.
You cannot speculate, nor you cannot force, nor you cannot discuss injuries of this future season because we don't know them. That is the X factor for every team across the country. Which team is going to go unscathed in regards to injuries? You can't control it.
No, and if you have a major injury to a big-time player on your team, it could be a game or two difference in your season. So, yeah, for sure. We don't know about that. It's going to happen, especially in the SEC. I think you're going to have some injuries. That's why you got to be deeper in the SEC. You just have to be. So,
and there's really just 2 or 3 position groups where I feel like OU just cannot afford an injury.
And
what?
Which position groups then?
Well, it's pretty obvious. Quarterback's the number one. You cannot go into the SEC with a true freshman or someone who's never even sniffed a field.
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of going into the SEC with a guy that's only played one game started.
Now, he's going to have about 6 games under his belt.
Oh, with the non-conference games.
And the other thing is, I think center or offensive tackle could be, if you're not moving guys in and letting guys play, that could be one. Outside of those two, I think OU's pretty good depth-wise.
Ron says, Jason, you saying Jackson Arnold will be on the run? I'm trying to remember. Did I say that?
I don't know.
I don't remember saying that, but I think he will be on the move some, yeah. Would you say wins are a quarterback stat? I mean, they're related to the quarterback a lot, but it's not just a quarterback stat. It's an all-around stat to me.
I can think of teams who've won Super Bowls and national championships with below-average quarterbacks. Trent Dilfer. Brad Johnson. Rich Gannon. I mean, you think of in the college game, Jay.
Did Kerry Collins win one?
Who?
Kerry Collins at Carolina. They lost.
No, Carolina hasn't won a Super Bowl.
I think they lost in the Super Bowl.
Jay, give me a couple of college football quarterbacks who won a natty, and you would say are just average to below average quarterbacks.
I don't think anybody who wins a natty is a below average quarterback. First off, I think you're wrong on that.
So you think Trent Dilfer was an above average quarterback?
Yeah, he was in the NFL.
Okay, let me rephrase. Above average NFL quarterback?
I think Trent Dilfer was a good player. I do.
Wow.
I do. I absolutely do. Was he
Brad Johnson?
Was he great?
Brad Johnson?
Who? I think Brad Johnson was good, not great. So, I mean, college-wise, somebody said Winston, James Winston. That's a good one.
Jameis Winston was highly talented, dude.
Well, so are the guys in the NFL. Come on. That's a dumb argument. What do you think about Stetson Bennett? What happened to him? Where is he?
He's in the league, Jay.
Is he? Still? Because I don't know. I mean, McCarron, AJ McCarron, I think he was just pretty decent. He wasn't great. Bart Starr average in the pros? I don't think so. Okay, he's on the roster. He's not starting, so he's back up with the Rams. Top pick in the draft. Who was the top pick in the draft? Who are we talking about?
Jameis Winston, probably.
He wasn't a top pick.
He was highly drafted, Jay.
Was he?
And I agree, Mez. Heupel, in my opinion, Josh Heupel, I would say, and people are going to probably roast me, Josh Heupel was an average quarterback with a great mind.
With the great what?
Mind.
Yeah, I mean,
the main thing
he was the first overall pick. I did not know that. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, Jay,
I'm wrong.
Listen, Josh Heupel was average with arm strength, talent, all those things. The difference between Josh Heupel, and I'm going to say this, I know you don't like me mentioning the name, Jay. Josh Heupel and Dylan Gabriel were very much alike. There is one thing that separated Josh Heupel from Dylan Gabriel. What was it, Jay? You know it.
The what?
What was the one thing that separated Josh Heupel from Dylan Gabriel? You know the answer to this.
I mean, he won a national championship.
Nope.
What?
He read defenses unbelievably well.
Yeah, he was really good at reading defenses. I do think that Leach's offense was at the time. Now listen, at that time, Leach's offense was just getting started in college football. Okay? And it was a very tough defense or offense to defend. And I do think that benefited Heupel because Jeremy, it hadn't been around, Jeremy.
Hey, and Jay,
wait.
You are correct.
No, listen, Mike Leach's offense, there's people all in the NFL. It's all scattered over all of football now because of Mike Leach. He created all this. And that was the start of it. So I absolutely think that was a big deal with Heupel.
I agree, but Heupel, like Monty said, was a coach on the field. And like Chester said, if Landry Jones would have been able to read the defenses and make the decisions that Josh Heupel made, it would have been insane. Landry Jones was so good.
Yeah, I do think the offense was different, though. If you remember right on Josh Heupel, there was a lot of times he would retreat back maybe 10 or 15 yards and throw a deep ball to a guy on a hot route or whatever. I mean, a lot of it was Heupel. I agree, reading defense. But I do think Leach had a big factor in it.
And I'll tell you the other difference. Josh Heupel was an elite scrambler who kept his head downfield and stayed behind the line of scrimmage. He was maybe the best one at OU. Baker Mayfield was really, really good too, but Josh Heupel had a knack for extending plays and not running the ball.
He would
extended them and found guys.
Yeah, Frost was not that great, but he made some big plays though. He made some huge plays. What about this comparison? Tebow and Heupel, great college football quarterbacks, high IQ ballers and leaders. I would agree with both of those. I think that's a good comparison, actually.
And I'm going to agree with Bobby tonight. I'm going to say some names, and this is I'm not roasting these guys. I'm saying I agree with Bobby in the fact that the offensive talent, it was a great scheme, Mike Leach's scheme. But let me go through some guys. Heupel, Quentin Griffin, Ronaldo Works may have been on that team. You had Fagan, Savage. You had tight end was Trent Smith, I believe. Damian Mackey. I mean, guys, they weren't like 5 stars out of high school. The offense was elite scheme-wise.
That's what I said.
With a lot of good guys on offense who ran it really well.
I agree, but nobody had seen that offense before. I think it played a big role in that season. Hey.
I loved Antoine Savage.
Hey,
I loved all those guys.
This is a great question, and I'll answer it, but it transitions to my trivia really well. So let me get to trivia, Colin, then we'll get to that. Go check out FanStop. Jeremy, I know you were able to kind of
Hey,
hang out a little bit.
let me talk about that real quick because I want to. I'm just going to say, Kevin with the FanStop, first class guy. And the FanStop, if you are not part of it, signing up for the Shirt of the Month Club, you really do. They offer great stuff. They've got 2 separate packages you can sign up for. Go to the website at thefanstop.com. Check out those 2 links for the Shirt of the Month. One of them will provide you with long sleeve shirts and hoodies during those colder months. The other one is straight t-shirts, but check them out. I'll tell you, Kevin is a class act. His family, great people. FanStop, thefanstop.com, Jay. Let's hit the trivia question, which will also get you on the wheel, which will give you a chance to win tickets to the OU Houston game. Really good seats, courtesy of the FanStop.
Well, and John's asking right there.
The FanStop is where I got it.
Yeah, so there it is, John. Sign up today. Hey, here's the trivia tonight. Colin asked about the first play of the first game this year. Well, I'm not going to ask the first play of the first game last year, but I am going to ask this. And we'll see how quick you get it, but how many yards did the leading rusher have for Oklahoma last year against Arkansas State? Opening game. Leading rusher for Oklahoma, how many yards?
It's a trick question, isn't it?
What do you mean trick? It's not a trick question. I just want to know the number, Jeremy. We'll see who can get it first tonight.
And Chester,
you're going to have to Google it up. Nobody knows off the top of their head. Come on.
The play from Antoine Savage, and honestly, guys, it's not mentioned. You're right. It's not. And people will go through that 2000 season and bring the Torrance Marshall catch, the Derek Strait knockaway, all those plays, but they won't mention Antoine Savage.
There it is.
That's a good point. Bobby again.
But are you shocked with the number?
I thought it was Dylan Gabriel.
49 yards was the leading rusher, and guess who it was?
Barnes?
Barnes. He had the most carries, too, 13.
Bobby always gets the trivia.
Bobby, if you have to Google it, Bobby's fast. Barnes, man, 13 carries, 49 yards was the high last year. And you know what the score of that game was, by the way? 73-0, if you remember right. So, at first play, I saw some people say throw to the tight end. I wouldn't mind that. I also saw somebody say throw a deep ball to Burks. I don't think they're going to go deep first play. I think it'll be more of maybe like a quick pass to somebody to get him out in the open field to see if they can get a bunch of yards that way. I don't think they would throw it deep first play. That's just me.
Is Seth Latrobe going to run the shovel pass?
I don't know. I haven't watched enough of his stuff to see if that's something he likes to run.
Hey, drop it in the chat. Best trick play in Oklahoma Sooner football history. What do you got, Jay?
Best trick play? Well, if you think about it, I mean, you have to also think of the moment it happened. I mean, the play against Georgia was pretty sweet.
That's one of the best because of how they ran that, too.
Well, and the timing of it. I mean, it was right before half. They were putting it on him, dude. They were putting it on him.
It was Hal Mummy. You're correct. Hal Mummy from Kentucky is the one who originated that Leach offense.
Probably one of if you go back to the Stoops era, Stoops had some great fakes, not offensive plays, but like fakes with special teams that were really good. There's OSU fake was a really good one.
You remember who that was? Michael Honeycutt. Wasn't it?
I think, the flea flicker against Texas with CD, that was a good one because they threw it short, which was surprising.
That was a great Lincoln Riley is brilliant offensive mind, and that was a great
He's still the best offensive mind.
Because that play, flea flickers, people always think you're going to go deep, and he hit Lamb coming across. It was brilliant, man.
Oh, Stalker. I remember the Stalker. That was great. See, hey, Bobby, why'd you bring it up, bro? Why? Hey, how about this one? I don't know if you could call this a trick play, but I will say the direct snap to Kennedy Brooks in the Texas game with Lincoln Riley was a game changer in that game. They did it twice.
They ran it twice. Both went for massive yards.
You can't consider it a trick play, but it kind of was in a way. But when I think of like a pure trick play, yes, the old fumble Ruski comes to mind. You also
Keith
have
Jackson reverse is in OU Sooner lore.
Yeah, that's right.
I got one for you, Jay. I got one for you.
Deduct a point from Bobby, should we, for the Boise State comment? That's a
no,
great
but
idea.
I'm going to throw out another trivia question.
What's up, Steven? How are you tonight? Thanks for joining.
I'm going to give us another trivia question.
Go for it.
Speaking of trick plays, OU on the road at Missouri ran a trick play. Who was the guy who did it?
The guy who caught it?
Yes.
I know.
Do you?
Yeah.
There should be someone on this live who knows, if you know what I mean, Jay.
Yeah. I know.
You know what I mean, Jay?
I know exactly what you mean. There it is, Matt. Chris Chester, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I thought Chester Carter might get it.
Hey, that's back in the day where Bob Stoops was the gambling man on those fakes, man. He was so good at it.
Big game Bob lost his lore.
Hey, Britt Venables has been pretty good on fakes.
Yeah. Hey, I'm giving Matt London's going to get his name on the random wheel for the OU Houston ticket giveaway. Thanks, courtesy of FanStop. Again, check them out. thefanstop.com. You will not be disappointed. Believe me, they're legit.
That's right.
And Jay, I know you don't like it when I do this, but they really make my muscles shine, man.
I do that every time. I don't know why you do that.
Perfect fit, man.
Bobby says Murray. Talking about the trick play there.
Wait, was it not Chris Chester?
Chester caught the one I'm talking about. That's the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, did D.D. Westbrook throw a couple, I want to say? Or was that him or somebody else that threw some touchdown passes?
Who'd you say?
D.D.?
Now, there was who was the guy who had a big game against Alabama? Colton Bester? Was he the guy that threw several balls?
I'm not sure.
Keith Jackson, I think, is who they're talking about.
Yeah, Keith Jackson is probably who they're talking about.
I did see that.
Colin, I saw that, and I'm going to say something that I don't know. The people that go after him on Twitter and like bash him for that and make these comments, I don't like that personally. I mean, I'm not going to attack somebody personally. That's him and his wife. That's their business. And I hate to see him get a divorce, to be honest with you. I do. I think that's tough. So I'm not like going to kind of kick a man when he's down. You know what I mean? I saw a lot of it on Twitter, and it's just like, why? I know OU hates Texas. That's fine, but I don't think – I don't know the reason why, Steven. I see your comment. I don't know the reason why. I just don't really – to be honest with you, I don't really care either way, but I just don't like kicking people when they're down.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
It
was Matt McCoy that threw that pass.
Jay, hey, what are your thoughts? I was going to see if you knew what kids say these days. You said kicking them when they're down. What do kids say nowadays? Do you know the saying?
As far as kicking somebody when they're down?
Yeah. What's that saying?
I have no clue, Jeremy. I'll tell you what I learned this weekend. But
praying on their downfall.
Okay. I learned this weekend the term Sigma.
My son, 14-year-olds use that. Yes.
I didn't really understand it because
the Lion King.
What?
It's from the Lion King.
I know, but why is an alpha better than a sigma?
Sigma was the lion, Jay.
I don't care. Alpha should be number one over sigma, right? I don't know why we're talking about this, but Jeremy's a beta or a gamma. Great God, if we're going to talk about that.
Guys, I know we've talked about it before. My inability to tread water, so I could have been a beta or a gamma. But after tonight,
wait,
I'm a sigma.
Hey, you know what we should do is maybe
I went
maybe
off a diving board, ladies and gentlemen.
maybe,
Sigma.
who autographed your basketball? Hey,
Wait, let me talk about that, Jay. That basketball is autographed from an undefeated 7th grade junior high team I coached. They signed it and gave it to me at the end of the year. Absolutely loved it.
That's cool.
I cherish that thing.
Jeremy, you were asked when track and field starts.
That's second semester. Cross country is first.
Hey, maybe we need to do a show and we have a segment, and it's maybe we should start this year. And during the game, we say who was the Sigma, who was the Alpha, who was the Beta.
Bring it, Jay.
We'll see. We'll see. Did you watch any Olympics today?
I caught a 4x1 final of swimming. That's it. Hey, I have a question. Why do the divers use a towel that's like this big?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Hey, and Sooner Cowboy, actually, we do have Buddy Hield's autograph. My son was probably 9 at the time, actually got Buddy Hield's autograph, gave Buddy Hield some Skittles, and then Buddy Hield walked off with a Sharpie and came back, had a great conversation. Love Buddy Hield.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either. Greg, I saw Monty's comment earlier. Not a fan at all of what went on. And yeah, it is
a towel. It's called. Guys, I looked it up before I came on the live because I was watching some of the diving. I had to Google it. It actually helps dry them quicker. It's more like a hammock or
wait.
There it is, right there.
Wait, you watch? Wait a second. Did you watch diving tonight because you went and dove up a diving board for the first time in your life today?
First off, it wasn't the first time I jumped off the diving board. And
how many times have you jumped off the diving board in your life?
Handful.
And you did it today at your age?
Tonight, I just walked on it and jumped off and got to the side quickly. It wasn't even scary.
Did you hold your nose?
No, I don't have to hold my nose like you, Jay.
Okay, nice. Hey, Colin, real quick, where was this comment? Colin, yeah. You know, that's the thing. As we get closer to game times, we are going to ramp up the callers where you can call in. We're working on getting a phone number, so it'll be a little bit easier instead of clicking a link. So post-game lives are going to be off the chart this year. So be ready. It's going to be fun. And we're trying to also work on maybe, I don't know, Jeremy, we had talked about it a little bit tonight about Missouri game, maybe having a meetup somewhere for that game. We'll figure it out as we get closer, but should be a stinking exciting season in the SEC, man.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of things on the horizon here at the Sooner Surge, and you're going to want to be a part of it. We're going to want you to be a part of it. Appreciate everyone that has been on here like you always are. Again, big shout out to the FanStop, thefanstop.com. Check it out. If you are a Shirt of the Month subscriber, email us so we know to put your name on the wheel 7 times. You've got to email us. Be proactive. Email us so we can confirm with the FanStop. Bobby, Matt, congrats on getting the trivia tonight. We'll see everybody tomorrow night. Have a fantastic Sunday.